Kakashi Hatake is a member of the Anbu, had to take on some of the darkest missions that were requested of Konoha Ninja, from assassination missions to being able to take on some really unspeakable missions in terms of nature. However, everything he went through led to him being the perfect candidate to become the 6th Hokage, and currently in the Boruto era, even though he's retired as both a ninja and Hokage, once he learns of Naruto's deteriorating health to the point where Naruto can't even safely mold chakra and Naruto's very existence is at risk, Kakashi puts on the ninja gear for one final S-rank mission, and it's to find a cure for Naruto's deadly chakra disease. In today's video, I'm going to touch on Kakashi's coup d'etat that takes place in the country of Redaku, a land where the Sage's Six Paths once lived in. It should be noted that while Kakashi's mission during the events of the Kakashi Retsuden novel are really interesting, they're really interesting, especially given the level of detail between the different political parties at play and the fact that Kakashi has willingly allowed himself to be a piece in a chess game that is a dangerous struggle for power and the future of a foreign land. A portion of the information I'm going to be using is going to be coming from the Sasuke Retsuden novel, which takes place during and after the events of the Kakashi Retsuden novel, with Kakashi, Sasuke, and Sakura looking for Naruto's cure in the foreign land of Redaku, which, just again to restate, is the very same land that the Sage's Six Paths Hagoromo once lived in and once took its tail beast to live in as well. Now, like I've already covered in a few other videos, immediately upon reaching Redaku, Kakashi realizes that things aren't matching up to the intel that he was given. Instead of a lush land beautiful enough for the Sage's Six Paths to once live there, Kakashi only saw famine, drought, children dying of thirst, suffering, and dead bodies just piling up. As he went further along into his mission, gathering critical intel, Kakashi quickly comes to the conclusion of which party is at fault for the condition of this rapidly deteriorating country. In my opinion, Obito's words about not turning his back on people is what ultimately led to Kakashi taking the position that he did during this novel. Because let's be real for a second, if this would have been Kakashi of old, before he got the Sharingan from Obito, he would have been more focused on completing the mission, whereas this version of Kakashi, a man who once took the oath of Hokage to protect the innocent villagers of Konoha, is now making the decision to actually choose a side and fight during a coup d'etat. By the time that Sasuke and Sakura learn of how quickly the circumstances of Kakashi's mission have escalated, they've already gotten pretty thick into their own mission. Sasuke and Sakura have just spoken with the director of the institute, Zanzaro, the man who Sasuke believed to be controlling the beast Minnow, the ferocious creature who devours prisoners, patrols the prison, and Sasuke's actually swapped hands with during this novel. They did so in a very classic Naruto fashion, with Sakura using the transformation jutsu to transform into the man that Zanzaro was supposed to speak with, and Sasuke using more chakra than is usually required to use the transformation jutsu to transform into a cane, since it was revealed that transforming into an inorganic object is actually more difficult and requires more chakra to do. After their meeting, the plan was for Sasuke to place the rep from the Redaku capital under a genjutsu, making him think that he'd actually had a meeting with Zanzaro, with Sasuke revealing the information that Sakura uncovered while she was using the transformation jutsu, all while Sasuke sneaked around the hidden room in Zanzaro's office that could only be entered into if you're inside of the director's room. It's during that conversation that we learn that the powers to be in Redaku, with the aid of Zanzaro, have a major trump card that, if they were allowed to unleash it, would have certainly led to the death of Kakashi in this land, in my opinion, especially given the fact that this is something that would have been too powerful for Kakashi, even with his increased stamina now that he doesn't have the Sharingan sapping away at his chakra reserves and stamina. Even with all of that, Kakashi wouldn't have been able to fight off what was about to come his way. Now, what I'll do for you guys now is read the passage from the novel, but before I do so, I want to thank Bethany Rose over on Twitter for her hard work that she did translating this novel from start to finish. Like I've said a whole bunch of times, right? Like I said a whole bunch of times, translating Japanese to English is really difficult, and the fact that she took her time out to do this for the Naruto community is absolutely something that we should cherish and not take for granted. So if you haven't already, make sure you thank her over on Twitter, and it's going to be here I'm going to begin quoting. 4 days after the messenger had stopped by, Sakura received a hawk from Kakashi. It seems the Prime Minister of Redaku invaded a village with the help of Queen Minari. On the other hand, the Queen's brother Nanara was against this move and decided to raise a coup to take over the administration. Kakashi says that he intends to support Nanara. An ambassador from the Prime Minister came to speak with Zanzaro and spoke of progress, with Zanzaro answering the messenger that he will be able to send strength immediately afterwards. Naturally, forces Zanzaro spoke of would be intended to help the Prime Minister's army, but where was this power? In the institute so far north that he spoke of? In any case, Sakura compiled a short summary of what she knew at the moment from Kakashi's message, end quote. So right there, one thing that's really key is the fact that we get a hint as to where this power is being stored. Because again, the Institute is north of where Kakashi is. Kakashi is actually in the capital of Redaku. But what I find so interesting about this, is the fact that, once again, you get the foreshadowing. The fact that he thought that this would be enough to wipe out the forces, it should tell you this is something really, really powerful. And I'll give you guys a hint. What power he's getting ready to send, we've actually already gotten a glimpse of it earlier on in this novel, and I'll just leave it at that. Now, I do want to say this much. What I really loved about this is that Kakashi is revealed to have taken the side of not the Queen of Redaku, but instead he took the side of the prince, who in more than one ways, and this is just my interpretation of the text we got from the Kakashi Retsuden novel, but in more than one way, he reminds me of all the innocent parts of Kid Naruto, which very well could have played a subconscious role in Kakashi's decision. I also love the fact that we're once again seeing ninja do ninja things. It's really cool when you think about it. Remember, Naruto is a series about ninja, so seeing stealth and espionage and this type of stuff is really cool to see. Kakashi taking part of a coup d'etat isn't unlike what our own government does here in America. We've had CIA in other countries gathering intel, meddling in other governments, and taking sides during civil wars to influence the outcome to one that's more favorable for our own interests here. Kakashi's actions in Redaku are almost a throwback to his Anbu days. However, there's a clear difference here. He's on a mission that isn't ordered by Konoha for him to get involved in this. His mission is to find a cure for Naruto, not to get involved in a coup d'etat. This is Kakashi, a man who has Hokage level wisdom, making a decision that's in the best interest for the people who has no connections to. But he's doing so because it's the right thing to do. It just goes to show you, once again, just how much of an impact that Obito had on Kakashi during the time together as members of Team Minato. But I want to know from you guys, what are your thoughts about Kakashi stepping into the affairs of another country? Do you think that he should have done so, or do you think that he should have stuck only to the mission of finding Naruto's cure and not vesting any additional time, even if it was beneficial and even if it actually leads to an answer for Naruto's cure, for Kakashi to be interfering in the matters of Redaku? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.